Don't pause. Press play.
Good morning, afternoon, evening, and good dawn, y'all. I hope you guys are having an amazing, fantastic day. We have a doozy of a new patch 1.3.6, which brings quality of life changes, weapon balances, armor balances, and a few other things. So let's go ahead and dive on in. First off, let's cover the quality of life changes we have here. We got another UI tweak putting hero challenges, missions, and mail up on the front page where they honestly belong. We also have character presets for gear loadouts. Currently, you can save up to 3 by clicking the number on the left side near your gear. Now that the fluff's out the way, let's get into the meat and taters, specifically weapons and armor. Starting with weapons, we have some deserved buffs and needed nerfs. The epic dual blades, Blades of Black Snow, got a 20-second time reduction in its unique skill cooldown for added spammability. It also now makes targets take an additional 30% more damage, up from 20% from before. The cooldown reduction alone will make the epic dual blades much more competitive. You'll feel a bigger sense of urgency when fighting against them, trying to get that kill in before you get blinded a second time. Mace and Shield got yet another buff, this time to attack speed and the leap accuracy of their first attack. For those unaware, Mace has been really easy to trump because of that first attack. It sometimes sends you flying past your opponent if they're sidestepping, and 2 has a large animation cooldown between its subsequent attacks. They have increased the attack speed of attacks 2 and 3, making Mace and Shield feel much more fluid. This will make the epic Mace savagery much more fun and a lot easier to handle. On the flip side, longsword got heavily nerfed this time around. Last patch, they increased the stamina for the last attack in its normal attack chain. Now we have a 5-second increase in the cooldown of its unique attack. And on the epic Lotus, the first attack of its unique skill can be blocked. That's not even the biggest nerf in my opinion. And the biggest change for all weapons, but longsword especially, is the change to guard angle. Guard angle is how wide your guard covers you from attacks and is indicated by the blue screen in front of your character when you guard. Weapons with actual shields, like halberd and sword and shield, have the largest guard values, usually in the 90s, while weapons like longsword have a very narrow range at 40. This really evens the playing field and brings actual reality into the weapon types, because I don't care what anyone says, a katana should not block the same way as a full-on iron shield. Historically, katanas don't even block, but that's a story for another day. Moving on, armor got a huge rework to shake up the meta. In addition to changing many set effects, epics now have 2 effects per piece. You can bet I'll make some vids on this once I have some time, so please stay tuned. Going down the list, D Company's set bonus is now 100 extra credits at the start of the match, instead of the previous 5% move speed. The Muerte set now has increased level chance from monsters instead of stamina, and the Epic Crow set got an additional 5% discount from the credit store per piece. This makes the Muerte set the new official farmer set to grind levels with the full drone. Between the extra 100 credits and the discount, Crow armor is going to be the new gold hoarder. Next is New East, which got its set effect changed to plus 10% additional crit chance. Asura, the gray armor that could, now has a whooping 21% crit damage on it to synergize with that sexy 10% crit rate increase. 10 Kings of Hell got a little HP boost and now increases normal attack damage by 10%, but in an odd way. See, the head increases your first attack by 10%, your body increases the second attack, and your cape increases the third. So it's not 3% or whatever per piece. This is both interesting, but also overly complicated, and I hope they make it more simplified in the future. On the bright side, weapons with killer third moves like savagery or the rare and epic 2-hand weapons will benefit from getting that cape greatly. I can see how specializing the damage can lead to some interesting builds and playstyles, but that takes some time to dig into. The Beast Armor set now got its effect changed to 5% reduction in damage from weapon attacks. Raw armor increases parry recovery by 40%. Viper armor reduces unique skill cooldown by 10%. While I miss the flat HP boost Beast used to give, it's nice to have an actual set bonus that you can't just farm up. Raw's bonus is particularly nice, however kinda niche. It will be really good for friendly duels against someone who knows how to parry well and often. The 4-star set bonus was changed to the 40% HP bonus that was previously on Beast sets. The Infantry set got some serious love as well. It got 21 increased stamina, 7% fast pose recovery, which is how you recover from being parried or guard broken, knocked down, or etc., and 7% hit effect resistance, aka how will you resist effects like impact and knockback. Iron Skull armor got increased status effect recovery and hit effect resistance. Assault Force got 6 additional weapon damage and an increased fast pose recovery as well. Overall, 4 stars has become much tankier than it initially was and should give take aficionados some options outside the beast armor. It should also be noted that the 6 damage you get from the assault force is roughly equivalent to 1 or 2 levels, maybe 1.5, so it's not going to make or break your build, but it is nice to have. The Overdox series armor didn't get much changed, however it is now immune to the burn effect. This makes it another set that's great if you know what your opponent is using before you even queue, which is never. Like, how are you ever going to know that your opponent is using the rare dual blades or the epic staff, which are the only 2 weapons that do burn in this game? The hazard set got its effect changed to bleed immune, kind of like the Overdox set, but much more useful because I see way more longswords and halberds and other weapons that do bleed, so that's okay. Gold Beetle got a huge 30% move speed buff to its combat speed. It can sidestep for days now and set up great counterattacks. This synergizes really well with the weight changes to dashing we got in patch 1.3.5, making very heavy dashes short and sweet. Beetle will be a great infighter armor and a solid counter against bleed heavy longsword and halberd weapons. Vector got a solid 18% increase to crit damage in addition to its heal outside of combat, giving it some offensive spice to raise its low popularity. And that's it for the patch, guys. Let me know what you guys think about it. Personally, I think it's really solid. It sounds like they're really listening to us, especially about the longsword being overpowered. I mean, I can't tell you how many people are, kind of complaining about that, myself included, but it's nice to see them actually do something about it and try to make sure that the game doesn't die, 3 months in. That's really nice to see. Also, I mean, it's great to see them change up the meta. I was actually starting to run like the same 2 sets back to back, but now I had to rethink everything and I'm honestly excited. Are you? Let me know down in the comments below. Also, I should note, I don't hate longsword. The thing about longsword is that, okay, it's a katana. We know this, we've established this. Katanas historically are very skill-based weapons. You can't just give a katana to some random kid and he goes and conquers the world. It's something for a master, someone who has put in the hours to master the finesse that it takes to use this weapon. So the narrower window of parrying, the smaller window of guarding, the fact that it's getting these nerfs are all to bring it in line with what it should be, which is a very skill-based weapon. You shouldn't be able to spam it and win. I hope I don't sound like super negative, like, oh, like hate katanas. No, I like all the weapons in this game, but I like when those weapons represent what they're actually modeled after. That's it. Anyway, let me know your comments down below, especially people who got nerfs again, Lotus users. Let me know how y'all feel. Let me know how you feel if you're a Mason Shield user. Hey, we're having an awesome day this month, man. This is gonna be fun. I might even do a video on savagery just to see how awesome it is now. Anyway, love, peace, and elevate your hunts, y'all. Late.